Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be jumping into Standard with a little bit more of the streamer early access event. So a quick shout out to Wizards of the Coast. Thank you very much for sponsoring the stream and allowing me to produce today's content for you guys. So we're going to be jumping into Standard with the first deck of the night, actually, which is going to be Green-Black Superfriends. So this is one that I wanted to try out. Actually kind of in Historic as well. I think that's where this deck could really shine in like a mono green shell. But we started off at Standard for this one because I still think there's a lot to be done with this. It's pretty good. It went quite well, at least at the beginning. It failed towards the end of the stream, but for the most part, it did pretty well. It's built around the card Vorinclex Monstrous Raider, a 6-mana 6/6 with Trample and Haste. Says if you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, you put twice that many counters of those kinds on that permanent or player instead. So what that's going to do is essentially mean that all of our planeswalkers and all of our creatures enter with double counters. So Ugin the Spirit Dragon, for example, a card that I'm well known at not really enjoying all that much, enters with 14 counters and ults immediately. That's really what we want to do. Ugin's going to lead into more things, which is the only way I can just justify him in my mind. We also have Grunk Cursed Huntsman, which is going to enter with 10 counters, immediately -6ing to get a +3/+3 and Trample emblem, which is kind of nice. It's not the most overpowered one by far, but we'll get to those in a second. Got Nissa of Shadowed Boughs. This one, when lands enter, it's going to double trigger the landfall, essentially, with Vorinclex. We can also use this to reanimate Vorinclex, which is nice as well, because he's more important than Nissa. So if we have to trade Nissa off to get him back, so be it. The real interesting ones, though, are Grunk Unleashed, a 4-mana 4 loyalty, enters with 8 with Vorinclex, and gets us an emblem with, at the beginning of our end step, we may search our library for a creature card and put it onto the battlefield, shuffle our library. It basically means that we can never not have a Vorinclex in play, which is really nice. The other alternative, though, is really that a Seeker God of the Tree enters, which adds vigilance to our legendary creatures as well as adding 1 mana of any colour, which can be useful if we can get to the Prismatic Bridge, which allows us to put creatures or planeswalkers onto the battlefield for free every upkeep. Broken. We have the World Tree to essentially turn all of our lands into chromatic lands, so we can potentially get the Prismatic Bridge on the field today. I don't think we really managed to do that in a meaningful way in today's video, but the option's there. It's kind of not really aimed for, but it's, you know, a possibility. The final Planeswalker, though, the one that is a little bit finicky, but also has probably what I would say the best emblem in the deck. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield. It gains haste. So we can actually steal our opponent's win cons with Liliana, Waker of the Dead's ultimate here. I think it's really awesome. The problem is that the +1 and the -3 kind of go against what we want to be doing. If we're empty-handed, though, the +1's okay, and we can work towards that. We have plenty of garbage in our deck anyway, so, you know, we can always dump that off later if we don't need it. Got Binding of the Gods. It's a Maelstrom Pulse kind of effect, with a forest ramp. I realized during this one that I should actually have the snow dual lands in here, because it actually picks a forest. It's not a basic forest like I originally misread. So we can actually get dual lands with this as long as they've got the forest type, so even the triomes can be fetched with the Chapter 2. The Chapter 3 just gives Death Touch. It's not really a thing necessarily. I guess Pelucranos can do some fighting with Death Touch, which is kind of cool. Pelucranos actually enters with 12 counters if Vorinclex is in play, and escapes with 24. Yeah, that's all I really need to say on that, I think. And then finally, I think the last one of note is going to be Blood on the Snow, my current favourite board wipe, actually. It does a lot. It destroys all creatures, or it destroys all planeswalkers, and then you get to return a creature or planeswalker card with converted mana cost X or less from the graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of snow spent to cast this spell. It's pretty dirty. It means that we can actually reanimate Grunks and then use their minus to also destroy creatures. So we can destroy all planeswalkers, reanimate a Grunk, and then kill a creature. Something of that sort. We can also get our Vorinclex back with it. Anything 6 mana or less can be achieved with a Blood on the Snow, as long as you have the snow permanence. So we are quite heavily into snow-covered forests and swamps. We have also Glittering Frost, which is a snow permanent that turns a land into a snowland as well. So we can turn these temples and pathways and world trees into snowlands to help us make that X6 snow permanent count on the Blood on the Snow a little bit easier. This card was actually bugged when we played it, so I don't know if it's bugged in real life. I guess we'll already know by the time this video comes out, because this will probably be a little bit later on in the week, I would imagine. But it's essentially like a Gift of Paradise without the life gain. It's kind of how you should think about it. It adds any mana of any colour, which is nice. Works with that Asika. And then also we've got the Wolfwiller Haven to add additional green. We just want to be ramping into 6 drops because we're quite top heavy, so the early game really needs to just be ramped to make it happen. And then we have some Heartless Axe, kills creatures, speaks for itself. We should be trying to get over here though, where all the removal is. So yeah, without further ado though, if you do enjoy the content, I really appreciate if you do hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a great deal, lets me know what kind of content you're interested in seeing, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I think you're going to certainly do that. But yeah, take care guys, have a good night. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. So you may notice that there's a lot of people with human token in this event. It's mostly a quick fix to solve problems. Oh, good lord. Chat? This is a mole. I think this is a mole. Alright, this is a keep. We'll stick with 3 lands, since we got the Seeker. I should probably, like, close this off, because it probably won't work for most of the cards. Alright, Temple of Milady, Tip's Hat. I'm just going to put anything that's not, like, Vorinclex or Ramp on the bottom, I think. Justin, welcome on in. How's it going, my friend? Hopefully you're doing well. Ooh, okay, Giants, most likely. One would assume. We got the World Tree, so we get that Prismatic Bridge on 6 or more lands. On turn 7. Wow. Okay. Alright, let's get Wolfwiller Haven on this snow-covered swamp. So yeah, 5 decks today. One of them is probably not going to last the hour that I usually dedicate to playing it. So we might have some spare time, who knows, to brew some jank between decks. Oh, baby. Oh, what do we do now? I'm so torn. I think we just go with a Seeker. Because we can always, like, Blood on the Snow reanimate it, I think. Then we'll just play our tap land. Giant enters the graveyard. This one actually does a thing in the graveyard. Triggers only if Quakebringer is on the battlefield, or if Quakebringer is in your graveyard and you control a giant. My goodness. Alright. Oh, the alt arts are in as well. Interesting. Alright, so I can add Vorinclex. Does that actually... It just completely kills these, right? I don't know. I'm just going to play Vorinclex because, you know, YOLO. Just see what happens. Vigilant, by the way. Wonder if the Kaldheim board has any cool animations. Let's start clicking, chat. I don't know where I would click. No, it seems like it's mostly static. That's bait. I'm not taking your bait. Yeah, so Vorinclex shuts down Sagas completely, so that's nice. Oh my goodness, Fizzle Sparks with the 25th month. We are playing Golgari Superfriends at the moment, built around essentially Vorinclex monstrous raider, which is going to double the loyalty of all of our planeswalkers when they enter the battlefield. Oh my god. Gecko's Beats as well, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on into the madhouse. I'm just going to get rid of Heartless Act, I think. I feel like if I'm going to destroy anything, it's going to be everything. Is there a Nightbot command for the deck list? There isn't. Oh, hello. Let's just let's just ultimate Garrick, I suppose. Alright. That seems pretty good. Alright, send it. Here we go. Game on, boys. They're on one. Okay, take 2 from the giant in the graveyard. So basically, if we top deck anything, we just kind of ult it. Alright, let's just block that. Yeah, okay, we win. Already sick of this card in standard. Yeah, I can't imagine why. Joe Bobsky as well, thank you very much for the follow. Alright, off to a great start, chat. No complaints here whatsoever. It's not the Planeswalker I wanted to ult immediately, but it works. So, you know. I think Vorinclex has got a lot more trouble in Historic, because 5-mana Nissa ticks up and makes 6/6s. So, there is that. What deck we playing? We are playing a Golgari Superfriends list, built around Vorinclex Monstrous Raider at the moment. Keep. As the kids say, I think this is a sneep. Alright. Temple of Milady. I'm gonna bomb that. Did we need to make Ugin more annoying? I think we did, because this is probably the one way that I can justify playing Ugin in my head. Is if it just ults immediately and the game's over. At least, like, when Ugin minuses and wipes your entire board, invalidating your whole strategy, at least you don't have to play for, like, 17 turns to find out whether or not it invalidated your whole strategy. You just know that you've lost, because, like, Ugin ults, dumps 7 permanents onto the board with Vorinclex. All those permanents are probably Planeswalkers, so all of those ult. And then it's just an absolute tire fire of a game. It's great. Let's have a look-see. So it's Swamp, and it's just going to be Glittering Frost. Let's look okay as well. Look okay? I don't know. Thank you very much for the follow either way. Appreciate it, my friend. So they did put Vorinclex in the yard, which is, you know, rude, to say the least. Discards a card. I would love to, because this Blood on the Snow can get me back this Asika anyway. I think that's the plan. Liliana, Waker of the Dead. Only can -2, right? In your graveyard, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 1 off of Blood on the Snow. I guess I can just play a Seeker God of the Tree here, though. Plan on Heartless Acting Rankle. So this is the only Eldrazi in the set in the end. Is a Praetor an Eldrazi? A Phyrexian Praetor? It's not an Eldrazi, right? It's a Phyrexian? Yeah. No! Alright, fine. Eye for an eye. It does both Fizzlesparks, as far as I'm aware. My understanding is that it both destroys ETBs as well as tick-ups as well. This is a bit of a weird one, because I really want Grunk, but at the same time, I think Blood on the Snow is probably more important. There's always a possibility that Blood on the Snow reanimates Grunk anyway, but we're originally planning on going with Vorinclex, I think.
Sorry for your loss.
But yeah, he is the only Phyrexian on Kaldheim at the moment. What on earth is this? Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land or discard a card. I'll lose 3 life. So, 1, 2... I should have put this on Temple of Milady, shouldn't I? Because then this would have been a snow permanent. I have made a terrible error, chat. I guess I can just get back a Seeker, but it doesn't feel that great. Yeah, I can't really do anything with my Liliana. Alright. Yeah, this Glittering Frost makes the land a snow. So I can turn my temple into a snowland. How does this get past play testing? No! Okay. Goodbye, Liliana. Is there any point doing this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This does produce snow mana, right? Like if I've set Alright. Let me just... I physically recoiled when this happened. I want you to all to know that. Like, Okay, okay. And then black mana. It produces 5. I'm just gonna, like, do this and bring back... Yeah, okay, I nearly misclicked. I'll just bring back a secret. I don't care. That's the strategy. Oh, they got rid of Doom Foretold. Nice. Does it actually do... What does this thing do? I should have read this ages ago. Alright, that's the top deck. Just give me like a snow-covered anything. There you go. Alright. Destroy all creatures. Pay the 6. And then... Let's just do Grunk. There we go. I have bled on the snow many times for this payoff. Let's see if it actually works. Sacrifice a non-land permanent. This I will say deal. Clearing Frosca, burr. Extremely burr. Indeed. They are about to exile my graveyard, which upsets me to no end. So I will play this. I think I'll just make more wolves. Look at little snow droplets. Bam. Alright. So our current little issue is that this this deck has no card advantage. I think Grunk will do pretty well though. He's a solid boy. Glittering Frost. Do I dare put that on anything else? Let's put that there. Note to self though, do not use Glittering Frost manually. So the question is, do I actually Grunk minus right now? I guess I do, it's pressure enough. Should have him dead in like turn or 2, right? I'll lose 3. Joke's on you. I have a bug that I can get rid of. There you go. Don't want it in play anyway. Love the music. Glad to hear it. Jazz went down so well last time, I figured we'd just jazz it up again. So I'm just gonna sack this other bug. No problem, Justin. Hope to see you soon. I will now sacrifice a wolf here, I think, because our opponent could just randomly get me out of nowhere. And I am deathly afraid of that being the case. It is not the case. This deck is 2-0. I don't know what to say. Hey, Bam. Just noticed you'd arrived. How's it going? I am 696. Am I 696? Mate, there's a 69 in there. That's all I needed to know. That's why I've got all the luck in the world. 69, boys. And 6. Nice, indeed. Alright, this has got to be, like, a solid hand. I can't really see it getting much better than this. We're going to turn the world tree into a snowland at some point as well with our bug. Temple of Silencio. More world trees. Only 2 in the deck. Quite wild to see them just popping out of nowhere. This card seems pretty reasonable as well. This gets me up to my 6 drops quite nicely. It's basically like a weak Maelstrom Pulse, then it's like a Rampant Growth, and then it's just give me Death Touch because reasons. Seems like it's decent anyway. Let's just go with Snow-Covered Swamp and get some Nissa pressure going, I suppose. Send it.
The swamps come to my aid.
Love the art, these snow-covered lands. Yeah, I really like the bordering on them specifically. Ooh. This is like a life gain deck. Hi, Vorinclex. How's it going? How you doing, babe? Oh, baby. So let's get Vorinclex into play, I think.
Cower before the elements.
There he goes. Yeah, really nice for Nissa. So all of my land drops are now going to proliferate twice over, which is kind of cool. Close to activating the world tree as well and getting Prismatic Bridge in play, which should probably just end the game as well. Feed the swarm. Rude. I'll just reanimate him. Literally, just play a land, reanimate him. It might not even be worth it, but I'm here to meme solidly. Oh, bugger. I think if I decline, nothing will happen, right? Because it's a May. I made a mistake. I should have played my... Actually, should I even play the land first? I don't even know what I'm doing. Quite clearly, I have no clue what I'm doing. But we'll get rid of that anyway. And we'll pretend that it didn't happen, chat. That's a massive punt. Oog in the Spirit Dragon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Yep. Can you press Z to undo that? I don't think so. I think if it was you must, you could probably cancel, but because it says you may, there's a possibility that you can say no to it. There might be a reason to want to have less loyalty on your Planeswalker, for example. Alright. So we're going to get a Forest from the Binding of the Old Gods, which is going to give us 5 mana. Feed the Swarm, keeps Ugin away, but puts them on 2. Doesn't really matter, does it? So, like, what can I do with this? Anything useful? I don't know. I can bring Vorinclex back out. Now I actually have 6 mana. Yeah, so I reanimate Vorinclex, swing in with him. That's lethal. That'll do it. Alright, 3-0. 3-0. Sagas are not nombos with Vorinclex. Sagas... Actually, maybe they are. I don't know. Does it skip a chapter? That's a good question. Or does it do all the chapters in one go? I know it's Saga hate for your opponent. Yeah. The Sagas just straight up don't work when Vorinclex is out. I know that for a fact. So it's definitely worth it. Most of your own sagas are better, some are far worse. It does it all at once. Alright, okay. Yeah? I mean, Liliana's not looking too exciting. She could probably be enabled a little bit better. But to be honest, I think if I was to normally do a Vorinclex deck, it would be for Historic with Nissa. And just do like mono green, I think, is the way to go. But I found when I was building this deck that it kind of desperately needed to go into a second colour. As much as 4-mana Grunk is pretty ace with Vorinclex just getting you a creature every turn. So you can just like constantly spam out questing beasts and whatnot. It needed a little bit more help. Snow-covered Schwamp. They are quite sexy. Slitherbore. Looks quite strange. You know what it reminds me of? A Bug's Life. When they're in that, when the locusts are in that hat bar. That's what that looks like to me. That's the hat bar. There you go. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Scry 2. Alright, so we're up against Giants with Invasion of the Giants. Scry 2. Draw a card, then you may reveal a giant from your hand. When you do, Invasion of the Giants deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. And then the next giant spell you cast this turn costs 2 less to cast. It's pretty solid. My experience so far with building giants is that the 2-drop slot is kind of weak, but also flexible in that regard. So you need things like this card that looks kind of underwhelming, really, to make it actually work. Alright, well, we have the Vorinclex. We can turn this pathway into a glittering frost snowland. Only 3 Vorinclexes in here. Because we've got a Seeker, or whatever her name is, the 5-colour lady, we really want to make sure that we're actually hitting unique cards every upkeep. So, can't really go for the full 4 Vorinclexes. But we have 3, because, you know, playing it is still quite nice. Vorinclex with Ozolith and that spell that doubles counters on a creature looks fun. Yeah, yeah, for sure. There's quite a lot to do with this one. Alright, what are we doing here? I think we're going to go with... Let's just do Pathway on black and then put a Glittering Frost on it, I suppose. I'm trying to set up Vorinclex into Liliana so we get that -7 ultimate emblem. Which I think will be pretty powerful. Tectonic Giant. I think he should be quite hard to deal with as well. Look at the player name. You on about my player name or my opponent's? Alright, Vorinclex. Keep me alive. Opponent's deciding if it will keep me alive. They do have like a lot of spells that could probably kill Vorinclex damage-wise. There's a new Stomp one that deals 6 damage, I think. I'm also not planning on blocking, but also definitely not planning on swinging and opening up like Fire Prophecies and whatnot. Oh yeah, we've noticed that there are many. There's a super hyper meme there. I'm all for it. Oh. You know, my shoulder and neck are still killing me. It's weird because I'm most comfortable when I'm not sitting up straight right now. But then obviously that's also not a great thing to do either. Just being slumped forward, so I feel... Oh, right, okay, there's a grunk. Alright, chat, which of these emblems do I want the most? Liliana's? Which steals creatures. That one seems good, right? Let's go with that one. We did grunk already. At least Liliana's ult means that if Vorinclex dies, he just comes back. And then we can ult Garruk. Let's do that. We haven't seen Lily, this is true. Alright, I have many tap lands, but this one is mine. Let's see what we can do. Oh, baby. Yeah, that's gonna ult next turn. There's actually no way it's not ulting. I do not believe that it won't ult next turn. There's a couple of, like, exile your stuff kind of cards, which they're gonna have to have. Is your name during this event randomly generated? I think they know that I really appreciate the power of 69 and what, you know, what secrets it holds. So, I don't know. Maybe they gave me it on purpose, but in general, I'd imagine that they did, yeah. This is just disgusting. Yes, quite. Quite disgusting. By the way, so the emblem on Grunk, which we're looking like we're going to get, says at the beginning of your end step, you may search your library for a creature card and put it onto the battlefield. So we're going to get either Pelucranos, another Vorinclex, if we really need to for some unknown reason, or an Asika. It's not a 69, that's a threesome. It's a confused threesome, for sure. Kaya as well, because her ult gets back every legendary, even from exile. Yes, did you know that she also can cast Karn's Temporal Sundering from the exile zone every single turn for an infinite turns loop? I have that on my bucket list of to-dos for this week, so stay tuned for that. Opponent would like to attack my creatures. I think this is when it becomes blocked, right? As well. I don't know. Either way, Agar, you're out of here. Fire Prophecy, sure, I will reanimate that on my combat step. Okay, so let's just go to combat. Let's put Vorinclex back where it belongs. And then we're gonna go Grunk. We're gonna ultimate Grunk. Ah, yes. This is now a Snowland. Because reasons. And then the World Tree. I'll put Pelucranos in play, I guess. 12 counters thanks to Vorinclex. It'd be a 24-24 if I escaped him. But next turn I'm just gonna play this Grunk ult and then win the game, I think. Oh, we're also going to reanimate this this Agar as well. Also, by the way, when are you going to play the World Tree, Jank? I'm mostly right there right now, to be honest. But I think you mean when am I going to activate the World Tree? Sometime later this week, probably. Right now, I'm too busy, like, making this game into a joke. Breaking all the rules. This is just really doing it for me right now. Oh, there's another Agar. Okay. Let's see if they go in for the attack. They don't. Oh, by the way, I'll just ult the other Garruk as well at some point. Alright, so they're all large. This one's larger. I got that. Okay. Alright. Emblem Tribal. Don't you know it? Woo! Oh, this is the most fun I've had in a long time. Can we throw a Tybalt in here? I have plans for Tybalt. He is in one of my decks.